what it's going to do to the game. So, for instance, what did he say? Traps that speed up the game. The question is, what does speed up the game mean? Make it more frantic, make losing faster, make winning faster. Something that we were also talking about yesterday that I thought was interesting was this idea of cards having Beats and Bees having like a sort of lifespan. I know that yesterday there was a suggestion that you could run through the deck, like you could click a card too many times, and now it's out.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, you draw one and it will cause something negative. Right, but the tricky part is that draw... Oh, you know what? Well, hold on. But Dragon Soul, the way you're phrasing this is very interesting. Draw. So the idea is that each time you click, you're not rotating, you're drawing. So the card... Oh.
It's like a deck. Ooh.
Okay. So, all right. So, yeah, no, you're right. You're thinking about this totally differently. I'm thinking about this thing as just constantly rotating. But you're describing it as a deck that contains something.
That's so cool. I feel like there's not a game that... I'm trying to think of another game that uses that idea.
So how we could do that, and this would be interesting, is we could pre-populate the deck. So I'm actually gonna start this because I think this will lead to really interesting things.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
If we have we're gonna call it deck contents, right? Let's say for now, I'm going to say there's 10 of them. I'll explain why in a second.
I think I know where it's going.
And then I'm going to add a new card color, which is it trap? Is that what I want? Hold on, I have to think about this. Because what I want is for them to look identical. So it still looks like the red.
Yeah.
But it's an evil red. And you need some way to suss that out.
Yeah.
But right now, and the way you could suss it out is that you know that the deck contains 2 of each color and 2 traps. So if you see a third color of something, you know it's a trap. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm wondering how we know when you've seen the third of something. But I think we could.
Well, each click is next card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe we write it out and see what it plays like and.
Okay. In this case, I've got to make a very interesting function after this, which I think will be cool. I need to make an enum. So in this case, I need to start making like an enumerator, which is a way to transform like values into traps, or into like spoken words. So
yeah.
What I need actually is this. I need off. No, I need red card, yellow card, green card, blue card. I need red trap, yellow trap, green trap, and blue trap. Right? Yeah. I need a name for this, don't I? I always forget how to do enums. Is that gonna compile?
I think so. You might need an equal sign, but
No, that's fine. So deck contents is going to be red card. It's actually, you know what? This will be great. I'm going to this, and interesting.
Do you want it to be like a random trap?
No, I'm going to do this just for my own convenience, and we'll deal with it in a second.
Okay.
So the deck contains 2 of each card and 1 of each.
Trap.
The problem is that the traps are new colors. You're just going to skip them. They won't affect the game state. You know, like if I know it's a trap, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I drew a trap. Next. We need it to be insidious in some way.
Yeah.
So right now I'm going to do.
Are there any suggestions in the chat? Sorry, I don't have Twitch open right now.
Oh yeah, there's a suggestion in the chat that traps could be a new color, but I'm afraid that if they're a new color, they don't actually.
Then they're not trapped.
Yeah. But here's what we're going to do. What we need to build here, and this is what's going to be sort of a fun little programming moment, is this shuffle deck.
Ooh. So there's okay.
Yeah, and I want to just move something. I just want to deck position. This is going to track where we are in the deck, 0 through 11. But shuffle deck. So I would like, and this is something I've spoken to Josh about actually, and would like to sort of someday get working. I would really like a shuffle function for arrays, just a way to just take an array and say randomize the order.
Yeah.
But and I know, again, real programmers are going to laugh at me for doing this and having trouble with this, but I'm always trying to figure out the best, most efficient way to shuffle a large, even a small array, so that it takes something that exists, puts it in a random order. The best way I've found to do that, and actually, I think I have one. I think I have an example of one, and I want to see if I can find it. Who shuffles? Astro?
Did we mention this yesterday too, that all existing Blinks games the source code is posted on the site? It's a great resource. This is what Dan is doing. Yes. He's looking back at the code for Astro, which comes with the Blinks library when you download I don't know how this works, but when you download the necessary stuff to upload your own games to your developer Blink, you get all the code for all the existing games.
Yeah,
it's also available online.
Yeah, all the other code is on GitHub, but this is the shuffle array. So this is a little function I built, and I'm going to copy it and bring it to Doorscape. But what this does, and I need to change search order to deck.
That's so awesome, though, that you can just plug in anything you've really written before and just tweak some parameters.
So what this is doing, and I'll explain it real quick, is I am running this loop 25 times, so you can see from that. The first thing it does is it makes 2 bytes, swap A and swap B, which are 2 random positions within the array. The likelihood is they will be 2 different positions. Hypothetically, you have a very small chance of them landing on the same position, and it won't really matter. It's just a waste. And then a temp, something called temp, which stores a value. So temp equals the value of swap A. So swap A is a position along the array. It goes and it finds red card, and it puts it down in temp. And it takes what was in that position and puts it in the swap B position. You can see here deck position swap A becomes deck position swap B, or rather takes what was in B and puts it in A. And then it takes that position that we just duplicated, because now there's 2 of them, and it fills that with temp. So all it does is 25 times it grabs 2 things and switches them. It just does that over and over and over again.
That is so cool.
So I can set this to 30, so that I feel that it is sufficiently randomized, right?
Because there's a 1 in gazillion chance that it'll just both randoms will pick 2 every time.
Right.
But even
at
that
some point
is random.
At some point it will shuffle some stuff around. What I'd really love to be able to do, and I don't know, I forget if it's possible, but there are some functions in Unity, in C#, where you can pull something out of an array and it actually shunts the array shorter, and then you put it at the end. So a lot of times that's how you'll shuffle an array. You'll just go grab a random value and put it at the end, and grab a random value and put it at the end, and just do that like 50 times. You know what I mean? But this is whatever. And this is a pretty small function. I think, what was this? A 43% program. If I compile this now, sorry.
Good.
This is wrong. It's deck contents. Whoopsie doodles.
Oh, one more deck position right there.
You're a liar. Yeah, it's the same. It didn't really add that much.
Beautiful.
I think if I... Oh, you know why? Because I'm not calling it. I am going to... In double... Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it so double-click does this. Double-click, instead of setting a random color, it's going to set deck position to 0. And it's going to shuffle deck. Yeah. It's going to shuffle deck. And I'm also just going to, in setup, I'm going to shuffle deck.
Very cool.
Now that I've added it, it takes up 1%. So it's pretty lightweight.
Plenty of room for lots of animations.
which is not going to happen. The other thing I need to do now is that my old single click was simply
change color by 1.
Right. So single click used to just change current color. Single click now, it's so weird to have the text so huge. I can't see anything. Okay. So this is what it used to do. I don't want that. What I want it to do is this. I want it to move the deck position along.
What happens if you hit the end of the deck?
I don't know. We'll have to work that out.
Maybe we should have it like flash, like white. Have something visual for now.
Yeah. I'm going to just do something really quick. If it's less than 12.
Oh, yeah.
If it's single clicked, if it's less than 12, it moves up. If it's more than 12, bad times.
I have a weird developer question, sorta. I find
that
when I do an if this else thing, sometimes the else statement doesn't work for me. I still have to wind up writing else if deck position is greater than 12 or whatever. Maybe that's a separate conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I notice a lot of people do this. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I do that. No, I just
doesn't belong there. Yeah. But all right, we'll need to work this out. But for now, we've got this deck position moving along. The problem is we don't know what color to put out, because now what we can be putting out is these colors, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And then these colors, which don't make sense. So I'm gonna do this because I'm very lazy. I'm just gonna copy these.
And so for people, maybe just for people who are watching who may not be as code fluent, what's going on right now is that there's 2 arrays. One is giving the names of the cards so we can refer to them and say, hey, I have a red card, a yellow card, a green card, a gray card, a blue card. And the code is like, great, beautiful. But also the colors above now in line 5 are saying what color should be viewed when the numbers match. So like the second value in that array on line 8 is yellow card, and the second value in the color array is yellow. So those will match.
Exactly.
Because they're both referencing
And so
the
I
same
wasn't
number.
sure how to do the traps, so I just copied the colors. So now red, yellow, green, blue happens in the traps as well. But this isn't going to help us because... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, maybe we load this onto a blink now and see if the shuffling thing works. And then, like, we should get a different order each time, right? Before programming
yes,
in trap.
We have a problem right now, which is that the method of communicating is all screwed up. Because I used to be communicating this, but that doesn't exist anymore. Like, that's not a thing. Current color is now subsumed by deck position and deck content.
Oh, true.
So I need to figure out where. So here's a fun trick. Here's a fun trick with blinks, and this is maybe bad. This would probably be bad practice in a different development environment, because blinks games, even a hyper complex blink games, might be 400, 500 lines of code, which is very small. Oftentimes, if I want to eliminate a, so for instance, I just did this. I just deleted current color, which means that when I hit compile, it's going to fail. But that helps because I can now find, oops, so, well, that's a problem because I said 8. So I'm just going to change that to 8. Sorry about that. And great. Here's a time that I've called current color. I don't want to call that. What I want to put here is, oh, this is complicated. Ready for this nonsense? What I want to communicate.
Sure.
What I want to communicate is the numbers. Oh, yes. Okay. I want to communicate the numbers 0 through 7. Red card, yellow card, green card, blue card. Red card, yellow, or red trap, yellow trap, green trap, blue trap. That's 8 values. Right now, I've only given this enough room for 4, because I'm only bit shifting this 2. So I need to bit shift this an extra place. Now, current color can send that. But that also means I need to change my convenience functions. To read that 3rd position, 4th position, I need to bit shift this get amdor 3 times. And I need this thing to get me and 7, which is the last 3 digits. And I know we talked about this last time. There's a lot of complex stuff going on with bit shifting that I'm not qualified to comment on. But all we need to know is that and 7 is the last 3. So all right, I've solved this. It means that I can keep. I don't have to recode anything. This is, yeah. Like this is why we make these convenience functions, so that I don't have to go into every place that I reach out and evaluate my neighbors, because they just call these functions. I can just edit these functions and still get the same shenanigans.
Every time I have to set up bit shifting, I get so nervous because I only understand it as some kind of magic. So I'm worried that if I get it wrong, I won't know. I'll just be like, my code's broken, and it might be the bit shifting, it might be anything else. But thankfully, because of Dan's great tutorial on the forum, Safely Sending Signals Part 2, I'm always able to figure it out. I know Board Game Brewer bit shifting tutorial time. That would take a very long time to go through all of that.
Okay, here's the problem I'm having right now. I need to communicate these 8 values, but when I'm displaying, when I set color, I need to figure out how to determine what color I am. So card colors, contents of deck position. So this is a kind of a hornet's nest. We're not going to do that. We don't want that. Sorry. Deck position equals 0. We're going to, sorry. Deck contents, deck position. And I'll explain this in a second. I just want to get this working on a blink.
Yeah. I think Dragon's Soul here knows the struggle of bit shifting.
Yeah.
Actually, let me pull that up on the forum while you're finalizing that. I want to share this. Too many tabs open.
Okay. Let's see if I can make this work. Hold on. This guy. I'm not 100% sure this is going to work right now. I just got to see.
Let's see. For anyone just get deep in binary and or not. I think not. Scares me greatly. Also, for
he's typing nor, which is a whole thing.
Oh, nor. Oh, true. For anyone just tuning in, welcome. We are currently live developing a game for the Blinks platform by Move38. We would love to have you. You can learn more about them over here at this special link in the chat. And we have a Kickstarter going live on Tuesday with 6 brand new games and a reissuing of a 9-game core set. You can check out the Kickstarter at move38.com/epic for our Epic Adventure Pack.
Thank you. All right, I got this working, but it has some interesting consequences. So, Jacob, do you have a piece of paper, like that you can scratch something down?
Sure.
Can you keep a tally. I'm gonna click through and see if the deck is working. Does that sound good?
Hold on. Yeah, give me just a. Let me find the right sheet of paper for this sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. Do you want me to like make a call like red, green?
Yeah. Red, green, yellow, blue.
Wait.
It's got a hilarious error when you get to the 13th position, so we'll see it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, so this is green. Pick off green.
Green.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Blue.
Blue.
Red. Oh, that's going in order. Green.
Green.
Red.
Oh, it is. Okay, it's shuffling.
Green.
Green. That's a third green.
Blue.
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 Yellow.
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 Yellow. Red.
Red.
Oh. Yeah.
And then it turns this weird purple color because it is trying to access a color that doesn't exist.
That's very cool. I have some great news.
Right?
It worked.
All right.
Rock and roll. All right, that's our stream. Have a good. No, just kidding.
I mean, kind of. So we know that 3 of those wouldn't have solved puzzles, which is interesting. What failed is that it let me keep going. It let me keep going after deck position became 12.
That's true.
That's the problem. So I need to make this 11, right?
Someone said I sound like a robot. I don't know what.
Yeah, you have some of your audio sometimes is like real grainy and gravelly, but it's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're a very helpful robot.
I get that a lot. Thank you. It might be because I have Twitch open. And
yeah. Now, because I've changed it so that on single click it only increments if you're less than 11, it will stop. It will just be the last card forever. But technically, if I've done this correctly, which I maybe did, if I install this on the rest of the blinks, there will be times where I will, in trying to solve a puzzle, fail. Like, there will be a time when I have the right colors, and it's like, oh crap, one of these is not right. You know what I mean?
Sorry, just to remind me, where in the code did you put the part that'll make that the case?
Well, let me install this and then we'll tell you.
Like we shuffled, but yeah. Because how does it know?
What it is if you look at line, if you look inside of door loop, it says look at neighbors and determine if the combo has been made. This requires that my neighbor's color is my door combo, but door combo is technically, oh my god, huge problem.
Ooh.
Okay, all right. So here's the problem. What door combo? When door combo gets made, this isn't gonna work. Door combo. Where are you? What's going on? Door combo.
Yeah, because I guess for everyone tuning in, the problem is that the door colors is on a scale of 1 to 4 because there's 4 colors, but then the card colors.
Yeah, so the problem is the 4th
loop
position was
twice,
supposed to be
so
blank.
it's on a scale of 1 to 8.
So here's what I've done. I've just made it so door combo is random numbers 0 through 3, so that every door requires 6 things. There are never any empty spaces. We could deal with that later. I'm not going to deal with it right now. This is an easier way to solve this than what I was thinking. But
yeah,
I have to re-update this for it to work. But what this means is that as I try to solve this, I will eventually fail because I will have something that is a trap, and I will need to draw a new card to try and overcome that. This is going to be very interesting.
Dan, I don't mean to.
I'm going to need the help 1 second.
I don't mean to double back again. But door combo is going to be 0 through 3. So, but we have 12. We have 12 possible numbers that the card could be.
No, we don't. We don't actually.
We don't.
There are 12. Okay. There are 12 values in the array, but those values are 0 through 7.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what's going on.
Because you need to look at the enumerator. So here on line 6, these are the values, and it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so
beautiful.
I'm going to make this into a thing. Now I am going to try and solve this puzzle. No, I should probably share my screen, but...
Oh yeah, tip the camera.
Oh my god, this is terrible. See, this didn't work, so I don't know if this is going to show anything. But this didn't work. Like, this is the color. Crap. Those were the colors, but one of them must have been a trap. So I'm going to try and do this.
And you don't...
because I don't know...
Which one's
I don't know what I'm going to draw. This is... And I also don't... I can't be like, all right, I need another red. Like, just get me one. Okay, this has made the game fully impossible. Because not only can I not like reliably get the cards I need. Oh, I got one. I managed to solve one. By pure dumb luck, I've solved this.
Well done.
But this is the interesting thing about this prototype is like I thought, oh well, this will be fine. But we've discovered something, which is that turn my light back on. By randomizing the order in which cards are doled out to you, you can't make reliable moves. Because
I have an idea.
If I need another red, yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, if you need another red, you don't know when you're going to get it, and you like in the first when you loaded it up, you had like 3 greens, and one of those greens, at least one of those greens, is a trap, but you had no idea which one. So I think we could either do
it could have been one of the blues or one of the reds, you know?
That's true. I think we could do one of 2 things. 2 things are coming to mind for me. One is that we add a thing, and then you're going to be like, these are too much to code. One of them is that we add a thing to the door that when it gets a trap, it lights up that face a different color. Like we get some visual hint of what our trap is. The other is maybe the random, like the shuffling through the deck 3 times is enough. Maybe we don't need trap. Because if you know, okay, I have this combination, but I only have 12 cards to pull total. Or maybe we make it less. You only get 8 cards to pull total. Do you see where I'm going with that?
What if I know what the next card is?
Oh, yeah. Have one face light up the color of the next card. I like that a lot. That would, yeah. Let's do that. But I also think we need some visual that it's a trap.
I disagree. Or rather, I'd rather find that out later. Because what I want to do here is I want to... Alright, this is an enormous waste of space. But by going from red card to yellow card to gray card to blue card to whatever, like, this was 8 values, right? Which fits into 3 bits. I'm going to make it 9, which means I am going to use 4 bits for 9 values. But whatever. We're not,
Wow. Bold.
I'll deal with this later. I want an empty value for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
So
Also, we just got a suggestion in the chat. Board Game Brewer said maybe the traps flicker differently if all of the pieces have a flickering pattern. We could see about adding that maybe after this.
Yeah.
Seeing what this
my
step
concern
adds and
again
then
is that
going from there.
if you make the traps obvious, you'll skip them immediately. Every time you click something, like, oh, it's trap click.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you're just gonna move past it. Like the interesting thing here is like the mastermind-esque attempt to suss out the trap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For instance,
I love this
when
because
you
I really
solve one.
I wanted to. What? Oh yeah.
When you solve one, you know none of them are traps, which means you can rely on those ones. So you can put them aside and say, I know none of these are traps. You know?
Yeah. No, that's so true. I love that there is, like, I thought the Mastermind would always be like a great game to figure out how to port onto Blinks. And I think that this is like a really cool way of going about it. Like it's a proper...
Yeah, there's a suggestion in Twitch that the visual is that the color on the door, but again, anything that explicitly tells you something is a trap makes traps into inconveniences. They don't become intellectual challenges. They just become like you'd immediately click it. You're just like, move on. Like, I know this is a trap. It is 100% useless to me. I can't use it. And then once you encounter like the red, oh, that's interesting. Because that's the other thing. Once you have the red trap on this blink, you know that the rest of the reds are valid. I don't know. Hold up. Let me adjust my chair. For now, I want to get this empty thing in here for a couple of different reasons. Mostly so I can have this off color.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So in order to implement this off thing, what I want to do is I need to change this to and 15. I need to move this over an additional spot. And I'm going to go up to the communication point and make that movement change in this loop here. So this is now going to move over 4. This is very inefficient, but
that's okay.
Oh, it needs this to be 9. That's fine. Everyone's happy. And then, when I do that thing where I randomize the door combo, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it a random value 4, but if I've chosen the number 4, I actually want that number to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I really want that to be 8. Because 8 is the new blank. Where is that? Yes. This allows me to have blanks. This allows me to have blanks in the door combo. What this also means is that I am able to move to this. I'm able to go all the way to position 12, which is the off position. Oh my god, is it? It's not.
What?
The deck contents right now need to end in an empty. So, gotta add that to the end here. Empty. And I have to make sure that my shuffle function, hold on, doesn't shuffle the empty around, which it shouldn't because it's never going to pick position 12 as part of its swap. It will only ever swap those dudes. Sound good?
Oh yeah.
Now, the trick here is when I set color. When I set color, I'm going to turn it off, which is fine. And if anything, you know what I'm going to do, just real quick, I'm going to make this color dim white 50. It's not going to be quite off. It's going to be like off-ish. I just want to make sure it's still kind of on. You know?
Yeah, that's a good good programming best practice for blinks, is that just to add that in, like, it's not great to in games have the blinks be ever fully off, because a blink that's off in the middle of a game looks exactly the same like a blink that's off because it's not currently being used. And
yeah, and that's
like,
that's
blinks
important. Like
do
even one
auto-shut off.
light on, right? Even one light on is like, you can have all 5 faces of a blink off and one of them halfway on, but you cannot have a blink that is fully off. It's just not. It's not. Except for, like, you can have it for a moment, as part of an effect, but you can't just turn something off. It's just bad practice.
Blinks auto shut off after 10 minutes of not being used, or not being inputted. So yeah, it might, if you make that a feature in a game, it might just make it seem like the game has become bored and turned itself off.
If deck position is less than 12. So right now, I'm just setting this up. I set color the color I'm supposed to be. We've seen that working. But if deck position is less than 12, so if it's within the first 11 positions, the deck that we're supposed to be playing with, I'm also going to set color on face to the next one. So what this is doing is I am setting color on face 0. I'm going to say face 0. The card color of the deck contents of the deck position +1. Now, the reason that I have to make this if deck position is less than 12 check is because at position 12, there is no deck position +1, and you're going to get some random color that's whatever.
Yeah. And
so what this should do... Yeah.
Oh yeah, just the way that set color on face works. Blinks have 6 faces. They have 6 LEDs, RGB LEDs in them. Each one is a face, and so you count up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the numbers for the 6 faces. So yeah, because I don't think you've used set color on face. Oh, you did. No, you did it earlier. Sorry.
I did, but you know what? I actually realized I need to check something.
Oh,
right now, this is wrong. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's fine. This is 13 now. Okay. All right. I think this should work, and we'll see if I can get it to actually work. Mostly, I just want to see it go through a whole deck of cards. I think that's going to be interesting. Mary, if you want, don't do it yet.
Again?
No, because we haven't changed that function. I was going to say, Mary, I may ask you to switch the large camera so I can show what happens. Okay, great. Yeah, Mary, could you switch the camera? You're there.
Mary?
No, it doesn't matter.
All right, we can see it, and we can see
what I've got here. Oh, Jen, I don't know if that's better. It's fine. I'll give you stage direction if I need it. What we've got here is a green blink with a single yellow face. If I click, it becomes a yellow blink with a single red face. Now it's a red blink with a blue face. Now it's a blue blink with a blue face, which is very interesting because it means that if I click again, right, it's still blue, and the next color is red. The next color, that's red again, red to yellow, yellow to blue. I'm going to tap through to the end. Oh, yes. Okay, good. We got it. So now I'm on the 12th card, which is yellow with, wow, that looks like absolutely nothing. This face is off, or nearly off. It's very dim light. And now if I click again, I get a nearly off blink. It's just, on camera, it looks very purple. In real life, looks very off. So yeah, and now I can't click, but I can, this is fun, I can double click, resets everything. Got new deck, new cards, I can tap through all of them again.
This is so cool. I'm a fan of this. I'm a big fan
there are definitely problems with this. Like right now, I'll tell you that when you are all blue and the next color is green, that little thing, it just looks teal. I know it doesn't look like any
Yeah.
camera, but it's not green at all.
But the light
I
bleed
thought it was
can
an
be
error. I
kind
was like, uh-oh, it's teal. But the light bleed on that was bad. So that's consideration. If you were going to go down the road on this game, is you probably need to use a slightly different sort of method or model of displaying that thing.
You could probably either do like two faces that light up that next color, or even maybe not using system red.
Yeah, and you could cut the brightness on the two faces that are next to it. Or even cut them entirely. You know, just have 3 of the current color and 1 of the next color.
Lots of things to do. I mean, or even like most like system colors are great for prototyping and getting colors really quickly on the blinks. But if you wanted this game to have a distinct look and feel, it might be good to experiment with the different color functions and come up with 4 colors that maybe contrast each other a little bit more than the system colors.
Right.
Even though that's very tricky to do.
But it's not impossible. Here's what I want to think about. It's been about an hour, which is about what we did on the last stream. We've added something to the game. Monty24 is asking, why are we getting a peek of the next color? This is actually, it's a good point. What I thought would be useful is if you know the next color, you can actually make semi-informed decisions about when to click. The problem was with totally random next color. I was like, I need another red. I just had to click everything. You know, I had no way to make any strategic choices. It was just like, I don't know, maybe I'll eventually draw a red. Whereas now, if I can see, the next one is going to be red on this one, I'll give you an example. I've got 5 of them correct, and I need another red, and I've got this yellow, and I'm like, I need another red, but the next color on here is green. But then I look over, and my green, its next color is red. I go, okay, I'll click the red, turn that into a green, click this yellow, place that green, and then we're off to the races. So it lets me make strategic choices, whereas with the total randomness, I functionally couldn't make any choices. It was the luck of the draw. Hopefully that answers the question. But let me try to play this. I think this could be interesting.
Yeah. And you still have the door changing every 20 seconds?
Previously. What?
Oh, just tilt your camera down so we could see your table.
Oh, yeah. Previously, 20 seconds was a hilariously long amount of time. Pointlessly long. Now, I really need it. I am going to turn this into the door. So what the door is asking for is 2 reds, 3 green. I don't have any greens showing. Oh, dear.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to hit this. That's green. Oh, God. All right, that's a green. Green. That'll be... Oh, my God. I can't get greens. You know what? This isn't helping that much. There's a... Oh, it's changed. It's changed already. Okay. All right, wait. I have this. 2 greens, a red. This is about to turn into a yellow, and that's about to turn into a blue. But one of these is a trap.
At least one of them is a trap.
Oh.
I think it should tell you. I think the door should tell you when there's a trap.
I don't like that. Oh God, they're all traps. I'm ruined.
But how else do you How do you know? How do you know right now which ones are traps?
Honestly, I'm starting to wonder about the value of the traps. What are the traps doing?
The other thing. I don't know if you need the traps because I think that right now I think what the challenge might be right now. And chat, feel free to chime in, or maybe we'll discuss it again. But you have each card blink has 12 shots. Right, each card has 12 clicks before it's dead, and you have a door that is demanding to be fed as many cards as possible, right? So I'm wondering if can't you just get rid of the traps, and then it's like try to clear as many doors as possible before all of your blinks run out of cards.
So Dragon Soul is saying a door should auto draw a card when there's a trap, but again, it just trivializes traps. Like,
then it's not. Yeah, the trap should stick with you. Yeah.
But rather, what the trap should do is give you a moment where you have to make an interesting decision or make a logical inference. And right now, they're not doing that. They're just making the game. But I will say this: like, I'm not asking what's the point of the traps as like a let's get rid of them. It's like I want to re-examine what makes the traps interesting and what the traps could accomplish for us. So, for instance, sorry, I realize this is not entertaining me just thinking about this, but go ahead. Yeah.
Could the traps not affect the door but affect each other?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just like I was wondering if it might spur something in us. Like if the trap touches, if you cluster a bunch together and one of them is a trap, maybe it infects the other blinks. That feels like sort of a different game, maybe. But like traps are useless. If they touch other blinks, they make those blinks useless too. That's very helpful.
I'm thinking maybe something like Mastermind, where a trap will allow you to solve a puzzle, but it will be a lesser solution. Like, yes, you solved it. But there was a trap. So that's what 24 Monster 24 is saying. Mastermind has this thing where it tells you how many you got right. So in this case, it's obvious how many you got right because the colors are visible. But I can tell you how many of them were traps. So that maybe could be valuable. Like, yes, you solved it, but you solved it with 2 traps.
Oh, if it gave like visual, some sort of visual feedback that like
essentially a solution quality. Like your solution was 5/6 correct. Like you solved it, but it's like it's not quite at like you've got 1 trap involved. And like, okay, so I'll
maybe like between turns. Could it be like okay? Oh, I like where this is going so much. I'm like trying to figure out how to. So maybe we get rid of the 20-second timer. A puzzle pops up, and every time you solve it, instead of it randomly generating a new puzzle, it lights up how many. Like the door goes away for a second, and it lights up how many faces, like sort of like the Ghost Hunters level select, how many traps are currently touching it. So you're getting whenever you solve the color combination. So you're trying to get rid of all the traps in your cards, and then once you do that, you get a new door. You get some feedback so that you can try to eradicate all the traps from your hand.
I mean, yes, I agree that probably would work.
Because I think you need to get multiple tries on the same hand, you know? Like if we're going to model it off of Mastermind a bit.
Yeah, keep going.
Because like to take a cue from Mastermind, it's not like in Mastermind every turn the Mastermind, the person who came up with the code, changes their code. Like,
yes, yeah.
You can't have inconsistent information and be aiming for a moving target. Then there's no then randomness trumps strategy. But if we say this is your goal and you have variable information to solve that goal, but your goal is consistent until it's solved, then I think the traps should stay and like have value in the game.
Mm. Okay. Well, so the only thing I will say is that in
cards are right.
In terms of this stream, I don't know that that's sort of within our grasp.
Very would it be really, maybe I set up a post on the forum about this game and we get the code on there, and maybe some other people can take a crack at it.
Dragon Soul has been talking about trying to push this game forward, and I think that I will certainly push. In fact, let me do it right now live.
Yeah. Will you make a forum post, or do you want me to make a forum post?
No, I'm just gonna push these changes because I got them. So added concept traps. So I'm pushing this. So this is now part of the repo. Dragon Soul. If you want to make posts on the forum, I think Jacob, if you're also interested in doing that, we can talk about who wants to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's something small we can add to this during the stream, because I'd like to maybe wrap up in like 15 minutes. So maybe would anyone be interested in seeing me just make some slightly more refined graphics? I know it's not gameplay stuff, but it's just like super important for Blink's development. So I'll give everyone a second. Yeah. Oh, well, Dragon Soul, if this is how you want to learn to code, this is actually a good platform for that, because the results are very immediate.
Such a good platform.
Yeah, the great thing for learning to code on Blinks is that, like, you type set color red, you get a red thing. Like, you make an immediate effect in the world. So, yeah, it sounds like Dragon Soul, I'm going to assume that you're saying yes to me making more complicated graphics. So I'm going to do that. Yeah? Jacob?
Speaking personally, also, as you get that started, like, I don't have a ton of programming experience and coding experience. I've dabbled in it, done some introductory stuff, and I have been able to develop. Treasure Tumble is in the new Epic Adventure Kickstarter. That's a game that I developed and was able to learn a lot about how the system works really fast.
Crownfall? Yeah.
And I also did a lot of the graphics for Crownfall. Let's get that in the chat. Let's go Epic. We got that Kickstarter launching on Tuesday with 6 new games and the core pack of 9. Check it out.
The new Blinks game system, which is great for
it's going to be so
friends. If you have family and friends who haven't bought Blinks before, the Blinks game system, the 9-pack, is the perfect way for them to get into it. Let's make some interesting graphics. Yeah. So, Jacob, in your opinion, let's assume that what we're going to make graphics for is the cards. Let's not touch the door, because the door is very important in terms of information. What kind of graphics should we make right now for the cards? What do you think we should make? I was thinking maybe a draw animation. Like when you draw a new card, something happens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
What's the other thing you were thinking?
And then maybe, should we also maybe go over, like, make color HSB and play around with what color the cards are a little bit?
Or would that be able to do that right now? I'd rather just do some, just because I think that's a whole thing.
Sure.
Let's imagine that we want to make a draw. So what the draw is going to look like is that face that's individually showing the next color. I want that to spread over the blade.
Yeah.
But go.
That's what I was like, oh, it's gonna go around and fill the whole thing.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a new timer called timer draw anim timer and define draw anim time. And we're going to have it take place over the course of 400 milliseconds. Now, this is some good best practices. This code is kind of bad because I've just incorporated graphics just like straight up into the loops, which is not something we usually do. So I'm going to go into card loop, and I am going to, right here, make a new function called card display. And temporarily, I'm just going to move this display code, all the set color stuff, into it. And I'm going to go back to my loop. And here, where I do card loop, I'm also going to do card display. I would do the same thing with door display if we were doing door display stuff. So now I'm going to go down to card display. So let's determine first, am I idle? Am I flipping? Or am I drawing? So in this case, I want to know, am I... What?
Oh, that's a twist on the classic question, are we human or are we dancers?
Do robots dream of a
Am I idle or am I drawing? You're welcome. We were all thinking it. It had to be said.
I wasn't thinking it. I don't know anything. It's not a Pokemon reference. I'm not going to know it. So if draw anim timer is expired, which means the draw is not happening. This means just sitting idly showing cards. And then else, this is doing draw animation. So for now, we can just take this animation we already made, which isn't even an animation, and put it inside just sitting idly showing cards. Just setting color, my deck position, and showing one face of the other color. Okay?
Beautiful. Beautifully structured.
If the timer is going, then I need to do a whole thing. But before I do this, I need to set the timer. Right now, that timer is never set. So I need to go find, single click. If button single clicked, I'm going to set this timer. I'm going to do draw anim timer.set. Draw anim time. Whoops. All right, so that timer will now go off every time I click it. Okay, and the deck position moves forward. So to animate this, I want.
We just got a question in the chat.
Yeah, answer that question while I figure this out.
All right. Oh man, there's so many to pick from. I of course got to plug Marvelous Adventures, the 3D printed marble run thing. I don't know. I've seen Gravitrax. I think that they're really beautiful and cool looking marble run. I haven't played with them personally, but they seem like the hippest marble run on the market to me. And of course, if you haven't, not quite a marble run, but if you don't have any Perplexus toys, I super recommend them. They're very, very cool. I'm going to pick one up right now. Give me just a second.
Okay. Oh, he's got a Perplexus. Bring in.
Yeah, Perplexus like this is really good.
Oh yeah, my brother had one of those. He's very bad at it.
Very good.
Okay,
very good.
So
toy.
What we're gonna do during this?
I can clear in like 4 minutes. I can do the whole thing in like 4 minutes without falling. I can speed run.
What we're gonna do in this animation is we are gonna figure out how far along the animation we are. And what we're going to do is going to break it into frames. So in frame 1, we need to have face 0 and face 1 and 5, which is its adjacent faces, in the new color. Then in the next frame, we have 2 and 4, and then 3. So it'll kind of go like, bah, 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 like 1, 2, 3, right? Sound good?
Yeah.
So we are going to figure out which frame we are in. Light, current, frame. Figure out what frame we are in. We're going to do some real strange maths. We are going to do a map function. And don't mind that I always fill my map function with zeros to start. It just makes me feel better to have all 5 in there. What a map function does is you feed it a number and then bounds. So I would give it a 3 and say, okay, 3 between 0 and 10, I need you to map that to 0 and 100. So what that would spit out is 30. 3 is to 0 through 10, as 30 is from 0 to 100, if that makes sense. There is a great tutorial on mapping on the forum, but I'm just going to use it real quick. So what we're going to use here is draw anim timer.getRemaining, which tells us how much time is left in the timer between 0 and draw anim time. So the time remaining between 0 and the maximum time, and I want to map that between 1 and 3. I want it to either be 1, 2, or 3. Now, let me just visualize this. Okay, time remaining will get lower and lower and lower. So this is backwards. I don't want this to map it that way. I want to do draw time. So now this number will get larger and larger. So the maximum time minus the remaining time will go from being 0 to 100% because there will be no time remaining. So this number will go in the direction I want. So current frame will now spit out over the course of this animation the numbers 1, 2, and then 3. To animate that, I'm going to do something real lame. This is a real lame way to do this, but it's going to work. So I don't really care.
This is what I did for Treasure Tumble. Don't call it lame. This is what I did.
Well, that's...
No, I did something lamer, actually.
Did you do a bunch of if-elses?
Good. Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
that code's
so
open source.
I need to define what frame 1 looks like, what frame 2 looks like, and what frame 3 looks like. So I know that frame 1 looks like the current color on positions 0, 1, and 5. So I can do that really easily. I'm going to copy this code. Blinks is all about copying code. So,
open sourced.
There we go. So face 0, face 1, face 5. Sorry, active. So 1, 5, and 1. Okay, it's now going face 0, face 1, and face 5. Then in frame 2, and this is very silly, I'm going to do face 0, face 1, face 5, and face 2 and 3. You know, this is actually
over.
No.
Oh, I guess
Yeah, here's you know what, this is going to be a problem. I need to define what the rest of the blink looks like. So in this case, I need to set color. Actually, here. Sorry. So this is an important thing with blinks. It's like you should never really just use set color on face. You should always have a set color that defines the generic background, right? So I am going to have the generic background be
essential.
The previous card, right? Because I want the background to be the previous card, because that makes sense. So the background color is the previous card. And then I put 0, 1, and 5 on. And you know what? I'm gonna cheat here. I'm gonna do this. I want that. And I'll tell you why in a second. going to repeat this. So the default color is the previous color, and the frame 2 stuff is 0, 1, and 5. And then on the last one, I am actually going to just set the whole thing to my new color, which is just...
Shouldn't there be one more frame, though, like case 4 now? Because you should have 0, 1, and 5. Right?
Well, yeah, I have 0, 1, 5. And 0, 1, 5, 2, 4. And then 0, 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, which is just everything.
Yeah, but you don't have 2, 4, 3. You don't have 2 and 4 right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. In that case, what I'm actually doing is just making a special case on face 3. So I'm setting everything to the new color except for face 3, which is opposite from face 0. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're gonna
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna see if this compiles. Let me install this real quick, because if this works, it'll be fun to look at.
And it's good to note, like, we see now, because we added these graphics and animations to it, suddenly the code jumps up from like 44% to 52% just with adding, like, set color on face is a pretty costly bit of code to run.
And switch cases are pretty costly. And maps. Yeah. Map is incredibly costly.
Yeah, it's all, and timers it's all ka-ching. But, you know, that's like Treasure, I mean, I speak for me, like both Treasure Tumble and Crownfall are both very graphics-heavy games, so figuring out the graphics for those has been like...
Mary, are you still there? Can you switch the screens? Okay. Because this is working quite well, and I think hopefully it'll look like something on camera.
Nice.
Does this look like anything? Hold on. Shoot. Let me try this. Did that do anything visibly?
It just sort of flashed. Can you get it closer to your webcam?
I'm gonna try. Hold on. Oh, Jen, do you have a tissue? Oh, this is a fun webcam trick. Is that a napkin or a tissue?
It's a napkin, but
I need it. It needs. Well, we'll try it, but it needs to be a tissue. Sometimes, if you put like a napkin or something over a blink, you can get some more definition on a webcam. Let me try this tissue though, because the tissue was a little more like gauzy. It'll kind of. All right, ready? Let's see if this works. I click this. Does that do anything?
Yeah,
visibly?
There we go.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So this turns to red. Sorry, sometimes when there's 2 in a row, it looks like nothing. And this has got a lot of 2s in a row. But you'll notice that when it finishes its animation, you can kind of see the blue kind of popping up in the background. And then
so cool.
This one just turns off. So now we've got this draw animation. It's super basic, but it's more exciting than nothing.
Yeah.
And then, so something that you can do is like, what you'll notice, this animation is governed entirely by this little define at the top. Mary, can you put it back on the code? Sorry, I realize I'm making you direct this. This defines the pace of the animation. It's a little slow. Just change this to 300. We install, look at it, and go, okay, a little better. And maybe, let's say I change this to 100, and it was just imperceptible. Okay, I went too far. Back to 2, back to 250. But 400 looks not so bad. It is slow, but I don't know.
I like it.
I'd probably go a little faster.
It makes me think, though, like, like dealing a deck of cards is not like a bam sort of thing, you know? There's sort of an elegance to it that I feel like slowing down the animation just a little bit gives it that feeling of like, all right, here it is. Hey, Dan.
What?
Is this your card?
I don't know. No. Sure. You know what? Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me
Finally.
push this on GitHub as well. So this is added draw animation. This is all going up to GitHub, which is nice. So I think that was a good exploration of. I mean, this is really what it's like when we're making these games. Jacob and Mary, thanks for sort of sticking along with this and helping, and of course everyone in the chat, Underdog and Dragon Soul, and someone with 24 in their name. I need to scroll up. Monty 24. Oh, good, and someone's cat. So yeah, this this gives you an idea of how quickly you can go from a couple of blurted out ideas to really testing things. Really going like, okay, well, what if you could see the next card? And I just went in and said, all right, just light up a face, show me the next card. Talking about, oh, well, I need a deck of cards. Okay, well, we'll just change this constant, this byte, to an array, and then we'll move along that array. And even so, even with all the relative, I mean, it's pretty simple, but with the relative complexity of this, drawing from a deck of cards that you can shuffle and reset, having the puzzle understand what its neighbors are and their trapness, it's 160 lines of code. I mean, it's just nothing. It's just nothing to it, and a little animation. So I think this is a good place to stop for now. Again, if you're tuning in, we've got the new Kickstarter going up on Tuesday, October 20th, which is 2 days away. You'll be able to get the Epic Adventure expansion, 6 brand new games from the community. They're super exciting games, epic adventure games, including one and a half really by Jacob. And then if you know people or you yourself are new to Blinks, there is the new Blinks game system, which is a 9-pack of Blinks that is priced below the 12-pack. And is a great way to get sort of a new curated set of our starter games. And it's just a great way to either get into the system or get friends and family into the system so you can all play Blinks together. And, if you're interested in developing, you can go to Move38.com. You can order developer kits. We actually just spent all weekend packing up the new developer kits, so that's really exciting. And again, I'm Dan. I'm the games lead. I will be on the forum to answer any questions you need, as will Jacob. And there are no more secrets, Dragon Soul, unfortunately. I think I said all the secrets I could last time. If people liked this, if we want to do this more often, maybe we could think about doing these developer streams other times, besides just here at the end of SHUX. Well,
we also I just learned this today. There's a new Discord. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was just shared in the chat, so hop over there, and there you can message us all the time.
Yeah.
I
think
you can message Dan.
I think constantly. That's it. I think that's it for now. Well, I'm not sure I'm on there. I got to get on there. I think from all of us, thanks Jacob, thanks Mary, and hopefully we'll see all of you soon on the Kickstarter and on future streams. Yeah.
Here we go. Hey everybody, we're making your developer kits. Check out our packing party. Can't wait to be shipping all these out to you. We've been working real hard. Looking forward to sending you your blinks.